Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for the Queens of R&B Season 1, Episode 3. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into the mess. Okay, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, we see a montage of all the ladies. We see Tiny doing a little 1-2 step with her kids. Kandi is asking about Ace's YouTube sub count. Honey, he's in 17,000. Okay, get into it. 17. Tamika is cooking and her daughter got a little attitude, honey. She was like, you must have got that from your daddy. But then she thought about what was going down and she was like, you know what? You might have got it from us, so we're good. Them new kids will try it. They'll try it, won't they? It's like you be trying so hard to, come on over to the gentle parenting. But they make you just want to go off. Oh, child. So anywho, in the next scene, Tasha goes to visit with Taj because she in Nashville sneaking around, okay? And Taj is meeting up with Tasha just to take her around the National Museum of African American Music. Now, you would think this is just a tour since she's in Nashville, but Taj got something in mind. She wants to remind Tasha of whence she came. She's like, let me remind you where you came from, honey. Because, you get a little big-headed, you get a little bit confused. So they looking around. They stop. She starts talking about NWA and how she used to play their tape all the time. And Tasha was like, yeah, we were not allowed to listen to that. We could only listen to gospel. But when I used to go to my cousin's house, then we would listen to that because it had too much cussing in it and whatnot. There were so many groups and artists on this wall. I got to get to that museum. I want to go to Nashville just to go to that museum because I don't know. I just love nostalgic things. So going there, being able to see the groups from back in the day, all the black groups that were singing and getting into it, I just would love that. So I got to make a trip to Nashville just to go to that museum. So they see Destiny's Child, right? And Todd recalls when they would be in Houston for shows that Destiny's Child would find their way to their hotel, be in the lobby, and be waiting for them. And she said they were like super fans. Child, who wasn't in the 90s? Okay, I wish I would have come in contact with SWV back then. Maybe I would have been Child, I would have been I would have been all into it. Do you hear me? Every time I hear I'm so into you, I just lose it. Like, they have some super hits. So, of course, Destiny's Child was going to be down. They were hungry. You know what I'm saying? They were going to be down in their lobby trying to figure out, how do we become the stars that you are? I thought that was great. That was a cute little fun fact. And so she said they would take them on signings. They would take them to the radio stations. They would take them everywhere. That is crazy. And then what's even crazier? To think now Beyonce is now like one of the world's biggest artists. Baby, y'all better give SWV their props, honey. Y'all better quit playing with them. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Come on, baby. Don't play with it. Okay, to hear that backstory, that is awesome. So then they see Escape on the wall. And Taj is like, see, I wanted you to see yourself. Isn't that great? Tasha ain't budging. So they stop for a minute. And Taj is like, so tell me what's going on. Like, what's going on with y'all? How can we work this out? Because it's clear that something is going on between you and your sister. Now, she doesn't know that Tamika had already had a talk with Taj. So she already got like a little bit of information, but she wants to get what Tasha gonna say. So, of course, Tasha starts making it Tamika's fault. She's like, yeah, she body shamed me. Taj said, body shamed? She said, yeah, it was about me having a little booty in the group. Taj said, I know y'all ain't arguing over no little booty. The way I hollered. Oh, honey. She said, now it's other things like she disrespected my mama. Unless it's being shown out of order, which I know it is not. Based on that scene, her hollering in there at you. Okay, because she didn't disrespect your mama. I don't care what nobody say. Just because she elevated her voice and she was talking to you. Yeah, when her mama started coming towards her, she started saying something. She didn't disrespect your mama, girl. But anywho, that scene happened after y'all met with SWV. Okay, Tasha is like, I'm the oldest. So when she disrespected mom, I'm like, what's going on with you? Why does Tasha always throw up being the oldest? Who cares about your age? Who cares? Y'all are not children. At this point, all of y'all are grown. Y'all are grown women with families. Tasha probably uses that same rationale with that group. I'm the oldest. Y'all should listen to me. Everybody's grown now. So there's no oldest. Okay, we're all on the same level playing field. So Taj goes, well, no, there got to be more to it. Because, I mean, that ain't all, is it? She's like, no, that's it. Now, while I can understand Tasha not wanting to divulge her family business, okay, because everybody ain't going to tell you all their business. I understand that. Even though we going to see it on TV, she didn't want to talk about her family's issues. Got it. But y'all stole the lady money, allegedly. And it all stemmed from you leaving your sister behind when there was a shooting and she was locked out of her dressing room. When you know good and dang on well, she would not have left you. You're selfish. That's where it all started. Begin at the beginning. You're trying to begin in the middle. You're not telling what happened. There was a cause and there was an effect because you left your sister behind and just took your little cell phone out to the parking lot with your entourage. The effect was her saying, if you had an ass to kiss. Moving forward. I can't stand when people try to just tell the part that somebody else did. Oh, well, she's wrong because what did you do to make me react this way? Like, there's always something that was done before the person started acting out. Stop trying to act like, oh, well, I mean, I didn't do anything to her. And then all of a sudden she just body shamed me. Tasha, go on ahead, honey. You and your runs. Anywho, Taj was like, well, I feel like she's being very vague, but clearly their conflict is deeply rooted. I don't know what the hell going on. Taj, me neither. So Taj is telling her, listen, you need to get back to your roots. Tasha's like, well, you know, things change. People change. Yes, people do change. They aren't those little girls you used to run over, and you can't stand it. You want them to fall in line, and your mom has that same mentality. You guys cannot see people as grown adults. What you have been doing is what you think you should always be able to do, and it don't work like that. So Taj said, for the good, right? She's like, yeah, I'm hoping for the good as well. Oh my gosh, child. She's so aggravating. So then she tells her that she had a meeting for a solo deal, and she plans on stepping out and not fearing. Taj was like, what does that mean? You still fearing? Because if you were not, you would have told them about it. There's no need to sneak around. This is not 1998. Nobody is waiting for y'all to put out a new album. Y'all going on these tours. Y'all doing these dates. Everybody has something going on outside of Escape. Everybody is doing other projects. So why are you not telling? Because your heart's not pure. And another reason, you're basically keeping the group as a safety net. You know, dang on well, it would not have been a problem for you to tell them that you're going solo. Who cares? We are not waiting for So Def to release a record. We ain't. This is not 1998. You can tell them that you're going to do something else. But instead, you are passive aggressive and you're just making it seem like it's something else when the root of it is you want to do your own thing. And that is okay. So Taj is like, so you leaving the group? She's like, yeah, I just need my freedom. Well, girl, go on, give us free. Go on, get your freedom papers and go on, child. In the next scene, Coco was going for lunch with her two besties, Troy and Tamaya. So Troy, she said, is like her baby brother. Tamaya is like a little sister. She don't care nothing about SWV. She doesn't care about Coco being a part of a group. She's real. And Coco said, I gravitate to real people. I don't care nothing about that Hollywood stuff. If you're real, then I'm down with you. So they sitting down, they catching up. And Coco was talking about them being on the road. And their 30th anniversary is coming up. And she's like, look, I do what I do and then I leave. Honey, I know that's right. Get that bread, get that head, then leave. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all can scratch out the head part, honey. But she did say she get that bread, then leave. So Troy was like, so how are you specifically? Coco tells him that her mental is good. And she said in 2017, she was diagnosed with bipolar depression. And she has manic episodes where she's really, really happy. And then one day she falls into like a deep depression. And her final straw was she was thinking about unaliving somebody. She said, I went to get help because I just knew that something was wrong with that. So she was put on medication, but it's still a struggle, even though she's come very far. And first of all, I just want to say this. That was super courageous of her to share that. That's number one. That was very brave of her. This just goes to show that you never know what someone is going through. And you know, there's this stigma, especially with Black families. Oh, she crazy. She got to take crazy pills. She got to take crazy medication. I'm telling you that because those are some of the things that I heard growing up in my own family. And it's just like our mental health is the last thing that we focus on. We focus on going to the doctor for everything else besides the mental. That's why now I'm happy that more of the Black community is embracing therapy. They're embracing medications that you may need, and they're embracing getting help. So I was happy that she was speaking so candidly about this, because I know that this is going to help somebody. And also, that's probably why people always thought that her attitude was bad, because I was watching this, I don't know what it was. It was something with a therapist on it. It may have been a TikTok. And depression shows up differently in Black women. It does. It can show up as anger, irritability, anxiousness, like the list goes on and on. Depression doesn't always look like sitting in a dark room or staying in bed all day or crying to your favorite sad song. That's not what it shows up as. It can show up like that, but it shows up in a lot of other ways as well. So like I said, her talking about it can help someone that's having thoughts, having those same thoughts. And I'm proud of her for getting help. Girl, don't let them people call you crazy, honey. You got this. Moving forward. So her friend Troy was like, well, you're in the third quarter of your life, girl. You need to enjoy it. And I love that. What quarter am I in? Okay, so I'm 40. Am I still in the second? I guess I'll get to the third when I hit 50. So, child, I'm in the second quarter and I'm trying to get it together. So her friend Tamaya was like, yeah, because y'all ain't young. Y'all old. Here go Coco. I'm young, honey. My Hello Kitty still giving Niagara Falls. Now, she said it a little bit more graphic, but I won't be saying that over here. She was like, I might be 52, but this lady part is giving 21. Ma'am. Not the TMI of it all, okay? Ooh, child, I'm getting weak in the knees. I can hardly speak. Oh, child, I don't want it, honey. Ooh, I don't want to know it, honey. I don't want to know it. Coco is something else. I'm happy that she's having fun with her friends. You can see, because I noticed that something was different about her. When they first had that first meeting on the first episode, something is a little bit different about Coco. And now I know exactly what it is. In the next scene, Tamika's mama is coming over, child. She done cooked for her. She cooked her favorite meal just so they can sit down and they can talk. So she comes in. She's like, yeah, the last time we spoke, it really just broke my heart. Come on in, ma'am. You in your linen suit and have a seat. So Tamika is sitting there with her mom, and she's like, I cooked your favorite. I cooked salmon and cabbage. So she said, tell me the issue between me, you, and Tasha. So Tamika said, well, you always show favoritism. She gonna say, in what way? Well, I've only watched you for 3 episodes, and we see in what way. So how you don't see in what way? You called her jealous of her own sister. Ma'am, please get real. She said, you don't allow me to express myself. She said, well, I don't allow you because she doesn't disrespect me. Nah, she probably giving you an allowance using Tamika money, and you ain't fooling me. And this right here is a prime example of you showing favoritism. So what are you even saying? She's like, you wrong when you disrespect me. You wrong when you talk to me any kind of way. I am the 5th member of Escape. When I put that mic in your hand when you was little, when your daddy walked out on me, he didn't care if we sank or swim. I am the 5th member. Mama, you and that shake and go wig are absolutely doing the most. You are guilt tripping Tamika about her daddy leaving. That is not her fault. That's emotional manipulation. And you raising her doesn't give you free reign to yell at her in her house. Because I would have escorted my mama out so good. I don't like people yelling all in my space. You bringing all that negativity in here. And I'm very particular about who comes into my space. My home is a home of peace. I don't want to hear no negativity. I don't want to hear no yelling. Please take that outside. And Tamika was just sitting there. And like I said, she reverts back to that little girl that's getting scolded by her mom. So Tamika was like, my mom's hurt basically comes from her divorce. She was a housewife. And when my dad left, we were struggling. And I'm a daddy's girl. I look just like him. I act just like him. Okay, so it's clear to me now. It's all making sense. Her mom resents her. She also resents her because she probably chose to be close to her dad. She's still bitter over that divorce. Honey, she ain't got nothing to do with that ex. Nothing. She's bitter over the divorce and wanted those kids to choose sides. To try to make her feel guilty and forever indebted to you, that's unfair. Like, it's your job as a parent to care for your kids. That's what you're supposed to do. You want a Nobel Peace Prize because you kept a roof over her head and gave her a mic? I can bet y'all anything. Okay, this is all alleged. I can bet that Tasha took her mom's side in the divorce, and that's why she favors Tasha. She couldn't control or manipulate Tamika into hating her daddy. And because she could not do that, that is what caused the friction between the two. I can bet that. She's like, I'm the silent member. I'm the one that's keeping y'all together. No, you're tearing them apart. Tamika's like, you always tell me I'm wrong. Her mom is like, somebody got to tell you. Tasha hurt. Ma'am, the woman that's sitting in front of you, she's hurt. Like, I'm glad she at least got her daddy. She's like, you talked about her husband. Tamika said, the only time I say anything about that man is when he inserts himself into my business. This lady gonna say, well, if you can sleep at night. I don't think she can be helped. I really don't. I don't think she can be helped. She does not care what she says. She doesn't care how it affects her. She just says whatever she feels like saying. Tamika's like, he stole from me and you saying you hope I can sleep at night? That also tells me that old slimy Rocky was making sure to slip mama a little change to keep her afloat. That ain't no son-in-law I would ever want to claim. I would have respectfully got up and removed myself from the table. If she wanted to let herself out, she could. If she wanted to sit there and finish eating her salmon, she could. But as for me and my mental health, we will be upstairs. Child, I wish I would. She feels like she can overtalk and yell her into submission. She's an adult. Now, mama, that ain't gonna work. She talking about, ain't nobody taking money from you. Tamika said, I wish you would go that hard for me. So she said, I apologize if I disrespected you. But if you can't respect me, then I gotta take a step back. Her mama gonna say, a step back from what? She said, I've been beat up my whole life, mama. I just can't take it no more. So after she heard that, her mom did apologize. And she was like, you know, if it seems like I love Tasha more, I love you. I love you more than anything. I'm sorry. Now, she apologized. So this was a good start. And I mean, sometimes it takes putting your foot down. Now, I'm not sure if one conversation is going to change anything, but it's a start. She apologized. So now what Tasha going to tell as the reason why she's mad? Okay. She apologized to your mama. Now, what else is going on? Where is the money? Moving forward. So in the next scene, we see the ladies of SWV. They're in Pittsburgh. They're about to do a show. They have a show. Taj was a little late. She tired. Taj is like, listen, when I was in my 20s, we could sleep late, get up early. It didn't matter. You know, we were good. But now you got to watch what you eat. Watch how you sleep. Watch how you move. Everything is, you know, you got to make sure everything is everything. So they're about to go on stage to perform. And child, I was looking at that screen. I was excited and I wasn't even there. I was like, oh, I wish I was there. I was so excited. Back in Atlanta, Kandi is at the house. And now I guess she's back, child. And Taj is visiting. Kandi said, you know, her and Taj are the closest. Taj the closest to everybody. Taj is the glue that's keeping everybody together. So they started talking about the group's trip to Africa, SWV that is. And she's like, it was good. We did this, we did that. And she's like, what y'all doing? Are y'all good now? What were y'all doing while we were gone? Are you loving on each other? Kandi was like, ain't nobody loving on each other. She said, well, guess what? Guess who I saw? I saw Tasha when she was in Nashville and she was meeting with Motown because she wanted to do gospel. Not Taj letting the cat out of the bag, child. Oh my gosh. This is what happens when you sneak around. Kandi said, say what now? Kandi said, oh, really? Okay, so this is history repeating itself. Taj said Coco did the same thing to us. She was sitting up there acting like we were the problems when she really just wanted to go solo. So Taj invites Kandi and the gang, no pun intended. She invites Kandi and them down to the rehearsal so they can start getting into it. She was like, listen, if y'all ain't gonna go on with Tasha, that's cool. If she doesn't want to do it, we need to get to the music. Let's get to the fun part, to the creativity. Let's have fun together. And we need to plan what we're gonna do. So Kandi was like, okay, I know that's right, honey. She said, one monkey don't stop no show. In the next scene, Lily and her son, they go out for drinks. And she said, listen, I love my kids, but we ain't friends. They try to play with me, call me Lily and all that. But I'm like, no, you need to use the name that you met me with. I'm mommy. I'm mama. I am not Lily. I feel you on that, girl. I know that's right. It's all right to have a close relationship with your kids. But at the same time, there needs to be boundaries and there needs to be a respect level. So her son is telling her about his music. And she said that he's really good at music or whatever. But he wants all of her connections. And she's like, he wants me to do all the work. My connections, he wants me to just give them to him. So she was telling him how she was grinding, right? And she's like, yeah, I'm coming out with this erotica audiobook called Sister Hot Pocket. Now, she ain't call it Sister Hot Pocket. I switched up the name because, you know, it's a little bit too vulgar for the monetization of it all. But she called it something else. And as she was describing the book, I was just thinking to myself, I like that. Now, Lily, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. If you need a narrator, let me know. Okay, because I got you. I can bring your character to life. So just let a sister know. Anywho, that's just a shameless plug in case, you know, Lily skates on past this review. So she was like, yeah, I don't want to be the girl known from SWV. That's not enough for me. Like, I want to be able to do more. And so she tells this story about when SWV broke up. She was homeless and she didn't even want to be here. She was trying to unalive herself. She said she would drive around New York until 5 a.m. so she wouldn't get SA'd. And then she would fall asleep at 5 a.m. in Yankee Stadium parking lot. Do you understand how frightening it must have been to be on the streets of New York? When I went to New York, I was scared to walk down the street in the middle of the day. Like, you just really don't know what people are going through. This just shows all that glitters is not gold. Like, you think just because you see them on TV, they're rich. That's not the case. Fantasia already talked about that. We see these people, they're driving their fancy cars and they have these shoes and these bags. Half of them are from the gate, okay? They have all these things and you think they have the money, but they don't. Even Kandi talked about that on in season 5? No, season 6. She talked about that season 6, how her group was breaking up and her credit cards were like through the roof. And that's when she was telling Monique with a Y that her husband Chuck was paying down her credit card bills. So yeah, I mean, we see them on TV and everything, but that doesn't mean that they got it like that. And she said to her son, she said, that's why I'm telling you, you cannot skip the process. I hear you, Lily, with the process and whatnot, but I don't know. If I have the plug, I'm helping mine. I'm helping mine. I don't want him to struggle. Like, okay, so this is what I mean by that. I'm going to put you on the field, okay? And it's your job to drive it home. It's your job to score. I'm going to put you in the general area and it's your job to carry through. But I don't really want them just struggling and whatnot. Maybe that's just me. Moving forward. In the next scene, Tasha's in the studio. Child, I ain't gonna lie. I was bobbing my head to that beat. I said, okay, going to the studio to drop some beats. And she's like, yeah, this is my new chapter. Things are about to change. I hope you change that attitude and I hope you change that man of yours. That's what needs to change. So here come Rocky. He come in talking about sing the song like I wrote it, anime. All right, now, didn't I tell y'all last review that he was a mix between Ike, Kelvin, and Kendu Isaacs? Didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all. That ain't funny at all. You sitting here kikiing, but the internet is tearing you up because the similarities are not good ones. Did you watch What Love's Got to Do with It? Okay. So they sit down to talk and she's telling him that Kandi texted her about the meeting with SWV. He was like, well, how that's going to work with you and Tamika? Like, what's going on? I mean, I'm going to go ahead and forgive her. I just don't understand her. What you forgiving her for? She ain't do nothing but speak the truth, allegedly. He's like, if you going to go to the meeting, that's fine. If anything, you need to grab a mic and show him who you really are. Rocky is very disturbed. He is very disturbed. And it's that type of conversation right there. That's the reason why she takes that chip on her shoulder into every single interaction with her group and with her sister included. You need to fall back. You too involved, honey. You think you the 5th member of Escape. You and that mama. Child, this is a fool. In the next scene, Coco and her son Jalen are at the house. He's doing a video with his vocals being showcased and that boy can sing. Okay, that boy can sing. So she comes in, they playing a little bit, they sit down on the couch. So he drops a bomb on her and tells her that he doesn't want to go back to school. Coco was like, now you going to school because I'm paying for it. Oh, you going. You can sing on the weekends, but going to school, that's your job. She's like, there are not a lot of black dentists, Jalen. Now, this is true, but at the same time, if he doesn't want to do it, he's going to fumble anyway. Because if your heart is not in it and you're not focused, his grades are going to slip and he going to end up on the outside anywhere it go. Academic probation ain't no joke. Let me tell y'all something. A story time is not really a story time. Honey, I was going through a heartbreak and baby, that academic probation ate me up. Okay? Ate up my grants, ate up my scholarship. Like, you got to really be focused when you are in school. If you're not focused, then don't do it. So he's trying to explain to her that he doesn't want to go. He's like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to sacrifice my happiness for anybody else to be happy. Now, I respect the fact that he can openly say that to his mama. Because, you know, back in the day, you just do as you're told. We're seeing it unfold with Tamika, Tasha, and her mama. It's like, just do what they tell you to do and ain't gonna be no problems. But now that kids are being able to open up more, he told her straight up, I don't want to do that. And I'm not about to sacrifice my happiness just so you can be happy. So she's like, yeah, well, let's call your grandma and you need to tell her what you gonna do. Now, Coco was thinking that the grandma was about to be on her side. So she was like, just call her, tell her what's going on. So they call her, right? And he tells her that he doesn't want to go back to school. And she was like, well, you don't really know what you want to do because you only 19. He was like, well, I just don't want to go back and I don't want to be forced to do it. So he starts crying, and Coco was like, Mama, he crying. So then his grandma gonna say, come sit in my lap and let's talk about it. I thought that was the sweetest thing ever. And you know, them grandparents be suckers for them grandkids. But when you was growing up, it was like, no, you gonna do what I told you to do because I told you to do it. Because Coco said she used to put Post-it notes everywhere. You need to get a job. You're just walking around here singing, you need to get a job. And Coco was like, I'm going to get a job, ma'am. So anywho, he came up with a compromise. He said he going to take a year off and then go back. And if it doesn't work out, then it just doesn't work out. Listen to me, Jalen. You ain't going back. Once you take a break, it's a wrap for you, baby. Honey, it's a wrap. So you're not going to go back. And school is not for everybody. Half of the time you get the degree, you don't even use it. But on the other side, making money in music is not easy. And your mom has already been through it and she's trying to save you from it. So it's really a catch-22. I say do what makes you happy. That's the philosophy that I'm going to use with mine. Now, that might not be for everybody. I feel like, people feel like get the degree so that you have something to fall back on. And that is a great case as well. But at the same time, it's a new day and age and there are a ton of ways to make money. You can pick up a trade. You can, they're making money. These 9 and 10-year-olds, millionaires off of YouTube. There are so many other avenues. So if he doesn't want to do it, then don't make him do it. Like, I'm happy. Like I said, he feels safe enough to share his feelings about not going to school. Ain't no sense in everybody being unhappy, child. Moving forward. So we see SWV practicing. Okay, this one is finna go down. It's the last scene of the episode. We see Kandi. She's on the phone with Tiny. They're on their way to the meeting. So Kandi was like, yeah, I told Tiny that Tasha trying to go solo. I don't blame you. I would have told him too. I would have told her too because, it's already out there. She didn't want y'all to know, but you know now. So SWV is practicing and their manager comes in to see, if they're going to do what they're going to do with Escape. He was like, we only have a small window. We have to do it within the next month. So all the ladies get together. And so they're sitting there and Taj is like, yeah, so we want to do something with both SWV and Escape, like just everybody on the scene, just making magic, just having a good time, basically for one night only. She's like, everybody put your hands in. Who's all in? Everybody puts their hands in except Tasha. Ugh. Oh my gosh, honey. She's sitting there looking all crazy. Put your hands in. Oh, I forgot this part. Something wrong with Tiny. Something is wrong with Tiny. So Tiny pulls up to the venue right where they practicing. And so Tasha pulls up at the same time. So Tasha hops out. Tasha, you're going to have to let them metallic pants go. You don't wear them metallic breeches in every episode now. Okay? I want you to give them a rest. So she gets out the car. Here go Tiny. You looking like a genie. Something is wrong with her. Oh, child, I ain't got time to play with Tiny. So anyway, back to the mess. So they all got their hands in and whatnot. Tasha ain't putting her hands in. I'm like, girl, if you don't want to do it, fine. So Kandi said, okay, well, this is all good. Okay, because Kandi, all she thinking about is the zeros in the bank account. She's like, it's all good, but how is it going to go as far as billing? And SWV's manager said, well, I think it needs to be co-headlining because that avoids any issues. It's 2 legendary groups coming together. Y'all should be co-headlining. So Taj was like, yeah, because it's collaborative, right? And Kandi said, yeah, I feel what you're saying, but we still feel like we want to have top billing on our tour. Taj said, your tour? Kandi said, on any tour that we're a part of. Okay. Now, I know this is business, but to be fair, this is not an Escape tour. This is one night only. This is 2 super groups coming together. So I feel like co-headlining is the move. So Coco said, we're going to pass. Baby, they going to pass, honey. Taj said, look, this show, we should co-headline. And I think that's the right thing to do. And before everybody start going in, talking about Kandi, I always think about money. The group feels the same way that Kandi feels. They just not speaking up. Like they're using her as the spokesperson like they always do. And I feel like they should have spoken up as well. If y'all feel the same way, then speak on it. Okay? Speak on it. Say it. Because they all sitting there and then Coco goes, y'all don't want to co-headline? They ain't saying nothing. Kandi doing all the talking. Why y'all not saying nothing? Because y'all know y'all feel the exact same way she feel. Otherwise, you would have objected. So anyway, Coco in the confessional, she said, girl, do you know who you talking to? We've sold 30 million records compared to your 7 million. So Lily is saying to them, listen, it's not about egos. It's not about that. Okay, it's not about my tour, your tour. It's a celebration of all of us together. Lily, I completely agree. It's not one person's tour. It's both. And I ain't even hear them say the word tour. I thought it was going to be one performance. So Kandi is explaining to them, listen, it's not about y'all. We like y'all. We love y'all's group. This is not to be disrespectful, but it did come across disrespectful. She's like, but realistically, we've always headlined our tours. Here go Taj. Since you came back. Taj, I caught that shade, honey. She's like, now you mean, honey, because back in the day, y'all wasn't headlining. Shh. Okay, don't get it twisted. So Tiny said, SWV has hits, but do they have the fan base that we have? No, they don't. She said, me and Kandi, we on TV, and then they find out we sing. That's millions of more followers. Tiny, I hear you. But if they were really fans, they would already know y'all sing. That's number one. Because as soon as I seen Kandi hit the scene, season 2 of Real Housewives of Atlanta with her little rooster do, I knew that was Kandi from Escape. If they're your fans, then they know beforehand. Okay. And irregardless, if you co-headline or not, the place is going to be packed. And it's also 2 different demographics. And, okay, to add to that, social media followers does not equate ticket sales. Take Saweetie, for example. Millions of people wanted to see her pretty pictures and her pretty face, but did they buy that album? Absolutely not. So Taj is like, this is just one night. If it's one night, there is no way it shouldn't be a co-headlining situation. Now, I know somebody gonna point out the Great Escape tour. I understand that. But that was their tour. This is a collaborative effort. Co-headlining feels like the obvious choice. I think SWV feels insulted by being a follow-up act. How dare you? How dare you propose that we open for you? We're the headliners. So Taj said the reality TV thing is the reason that they can headline now, because in the 90s, they did not. So Tiny was like, it's just about the business part of it. So Taj said, oh, so y'all want to be paid more than us? So Kandi's explaining to them, when you look at it, some of the titles are bigger. Taj says, so you want bigger letters? Like they're trying to get it explained, but they don't know how to articulate it so that SWV can understand what the hell's going on. What they need from you is understanding, because they ain't understanding. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not looking at the size of the names when I pull up a concert. Who all over there? That's what I'm worried about. And when I see SWV, no disrespect to Escape, because I like Escape's music as well. But when I see SWV's name, I know for a fact I am attending. Okay, I am attending. And I know when I see Escape, if there were other artists on the bill and I saw Escape, I am attending because I like both groups. I will feel like it was a slap in the face because, girl, we just want to come together for one night. And y'all thinking about who gonna get paid more and whose name's gonna be bigger? Like, really? So Lily said, I'm gonna pee. I'm going to pee. Coco said, yeah, I'm gonna go pee with you. So Lily gets up. She was like, I can't take another second of this stupid because she pissed. Okay. Coco was like, girl, we sold 30 million records. They not headlining nothing for me. So Taj said, we laid out the ground for them to come out. So all of them are mad. Tiny is like, I don't feel like it went that well. Maybe this was the wrong place and the wrong circumstance to kind of like bring it out. And Coco basically said, if we can't agree, then there will be no SWV Escape show. Y'all better get it together. Okay, I hate to bring 702 into this, but get it together. Get it together. Get it together. I hate to say it, y'all. Y'all better get it together because both of y'all are good groups and we want to hear from both of you. Some people like Escape more. Some people like SWV more. But at the end of the day, if both y'all going to be there, it's going to be packed regardless. Now, how the money is divided, that's a totally different thing. But that's when management gets involved and they work those things out. But y'all, I don't know how it's going to go. That was the end of the episode. Y'all can comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about the episode. Who do you think should be the headliner? Do you think it should be Escape or should it be SWV? I just don't know. Anywho, thank y'all for listening and or watching. It has been my pleasure to bring you this review. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.